Welcome to the Say It Out Loud podcast. I'm your host, Vasavi Kumar. If you're eager to gain clarity, speak with unwavering confidence, and liberate those inner voices, you're in the perfect spot. My mission here is to empower you to break free, find fulfillment, and ignite your passion. You ready? It's time to say it out loud. I've put together a guide of my top 10 tested and proven to work practical strategies and habits to help bright women like you say no, set your boundaries right, live confidently, and build healthy relationships, starting with the relationship you have with yourself. This is a self-paced guide, and I can't wait for you to dig into it so you can start becoming your most confident self, because she's in there waiting for you. Head to the link in my show notes or go to vasavikumar.com/guide and grab it today. I bet you didn't think that I'd be back. Well, what did I tell you? I said when I ended the Being Human with Vasavi podcast on December 16th, I said that I would be back. I just didn't know when, and I needed some time to really reflect and go inwards. So much has gone on since the last episode of the Being Human with Vasavi podcast, which aired on December 16th. I'm recording this on January 29th on a Saturday, and we are here. This is now the Say It Out Loud podcast. There are so many changes that have been going on. And the way that I wanted to structure today was to bring you back, was to reintroduce myself. Let me just say it. I wanted to reintroduce myself to you. Because if you're a new listener here to the Say It Out Loud podcast, or you're a loyal fan of the Being Human with Vasavi podcast and you're back and you're super excited that the podcast is back, I want to say your feel-good energy and your excitement is matched. I feel the same way. And whether you're new or you've been here for a while, I want to keep you in the loop about changes that I've made in my personal life, in my business, in my creative side. I want to tell you all of it. And then moving forward after this episode, I will be having guests on the show. So guests and a mixture of guest and solo episodes. That's what I want to be doing. So a lot of what I'm creating is coming from a place of what I want to be doing rather than what I think I should be doing. So where do I begin? Well, it's interesting because when I started the Being Human with Vasavi podcast, I started with my recovery journey, and I started with letting you guys know what I'd been going through emotionally. And that was really like, I restarted the podcast. I was, I think, a year sober at that point, a year and 2 months sober. And I said, I'm ready to restart the podcast. This was back in May of 2020. And now it's January 2022. So my relationship to recovery has changed. I don't drink. Obviously don't use hard drugs. I don't use cocaine, anything like that. But I have been using cannabis to help me. And it's the only thing that I use. And it's been about a month since I've been using cannabis. So I, smoke a joint. Like I microdose a little cannabis throughout the day. And that's really been helping with any like little anxiety left over, right? I move my body. I'm very kind to myself. I've gotten much kinder. I've started to have really good boundaries. But I gotta tell you what's really been helping is I'm super kind to myself and my creative spirit, which I'll be sharing with you coming up. But yeah, I've been super gentle, taking bubble baths. Never thought I'd be that girl that would take bubble baths, but I take bubble baths every day, sometimes in the morning. It's weird and it's wonderful and I love it. But I started using cannabis for Christmas. I went to Colorado and I wrote my manuscript. That's another thing you might not know, is that I signed a book deal with New World Library. And my book, Say It Out Loud, will be coming out in spring of 2023. So it feels really cohesive and in alignment to have this podcast be the Say It Out Loud podcast as well. And I've been using cannabis, and it's been really just, I feel so good in my body. I feel warm. I feel fuzzy. I feel comfortable. I use it with a lot of intention. So when I use cannabis, I turn inwards. I set an intention and I say, what do I want to really kind of explore today? And so that leads me to my next thing, right? Which is allowing yourself to recreate your identity, what feels constricting and what doesn't. I don't feel constricted by the fact that I don't use cocaine and alcohol. I have zero desire to drink. I have zero desire to ever go back down there for me, right? But I really enjoy getting a little stoned, microdosing and feeling really good. It's like really gotten me into my body, and that feels really, really good for me. And it's just allowing myself to give myself what I need and not judging myself, right? And I trusting myself, knowing that I have limits, right? Rather than being like, oh, if I do this, I'm going to fall off the wagon, like such extreme thinking. And it's rooted in lack of self-trust when I say that. I've just learned so much about myself. And with that being said, I want to kind of move into the creative aspect and the business. So I have decided that I'm ready to fully step into my acting and in my comedy. I took a 6-week course, October through December, and then I performed at my first comedy showcase, December 13th. And it was like the most alive I'd ever felt. Getting on stage, having those nerves, being anxious, having my 5-minute set, playing with the audience. And I'm like, I need more of this. I need this. It's interesting when I get on stage, I don't ever smoke before I go. I don't smoke weed or anything before I go because I love just being in my full space. I can't, in my body, like just that creative spirit. I can't explain it, but it's beautiful. So I fully decided to step into that. I'm going to be writing a one-woman comedy show, which I want to perform for my 40th birthday, which is coming up in May. So I'm going to rent a theater and I'm going to perform my comedy show. It's working on it every day. And with my acting, I've signed up for a 9-week class, and I start in February. And when it comes to my coaching, so this is how this relates to you, right? You've been a listener to this podcast. Maybe you've wanted to work with me. Maybe you want to do what I do. Maybe you want to step more into your creativity. Maybe you want to be a coach, which I've kind of, in a way, retired from that, right? So I have a few one-on-one clients, but really my focus right now is acting more, comedy, and there are still ways to work with me. So this is just kind of what I want to share, depending on where you're at in your life. So you can join the Real Rich community. I'm giving you all this information up front. So it's like, I don't have to wait till the very end. I want to just give you the changes and then really just kind of get into some other amazing stuff that I think is going to help you with your own creativity. And like, if you're feeling stuck or if you're really feeling like you want to go do something that you haven't given yourself permission to do. So there are 2 ways that you can work with me. 3. Number 1 is you can join the Real Rich community. I've made the price very accessible to people. It's now $49 a month. $49 a month. And there's one live Q&A, which I run along with the other members. So like I'm hosting a live Q&A. That's where you can come, you can talk, you can pick my brain, you can brainstorm, you can celebrate, connect. It's a great community for my introverts. It's a great community for my creatives out there. The ones that really are, you're a coach. Maybe a lot of the members right now are coaches, but they have other dreams, right? They're also like podcast hosts. They want to act. They have other desires that they want to allow themselves to expand, not just do one thing. So a lot of my creatives are in that, in the community, my introverts. Maybe you want to start a business. You just need, you're an actionable human being. Like all you need is just, I have these questions. Give me the answers. I'll go do it. Right. So yes, come. If you've watched my journey, you know that I have 2 masters. I went from being a licensed therapist to a coach to, and it's not all like bouncy. Everything has melded together. And that's what I'm really like. That's what I'm loving about this transition. It's like, there's nothing separate. Nothing in my life is an accident, right? The fact that I got my master's in social work, so that's a therapy. Then I became a coach. Okay, and so I started this coaching business. It's been 11 years. Went to culinary school. I never cooked for anyone, but guess what? I'm meal prepping every day. I'm meal prepping for the week, once a weekend. So I'm using my chef skills. My TV hosting, love it. I'm working with I'm working with CEOs, executives, leaders, managers to be more confident on camera, be more authentic in their communication. So I'm doing that. And I have the Real Rich community where I get to work with people who are just coming up and they want a mentor. So you can join the Real Rich community for $49 a month. And we have one live Q&A call a month. So I'm really excited about just a lot of the structural changes. And as far as working with me, one-on-one, I offer a 75-minute customized session, any topic, or a 3-hour. They're both different price points. If you want to work with me on your confidence on your communication and on your cash, period, right? If you want to work on finding ways to monetize you, like, right, I get paid in multiple ways right now, right? Through my voiceover, through my acting, through my consulting, through my wedding officiant, right? I have these different parts of me that I love to explore. I don't think everything needs to be monetized. I'll tell you right now, like my cooking doesn't need to be monetized. I cook for myself. The wedding officiant stuff that I do, I love it. It's not like my long-term dream though. Like I do it. It's great. I get to meet people. I get to make some money. It's awesome. It's just fun. It's fun for me right now. My connection with my audience on this podcast used to be very much me teaching and packaged and like, oh, let me go through this and then give you the lesson. But I want to share some of my dreams with you. We're doing it messy, y'all. I want to be the first South Asian female to win an Oscar. My friend was like, what about Mindy Kaling? I'm like, yeah, Mindy Kaling definitely has a massive head start. Yes, she's definitely going to get that Oscar. But I can dream. I want to be the first South Asian female to win an Oscar. I want to have my own Netflix comedy special. And that's why I'm writing and recording my own comedy show. Because it's like, I don't wait for anyone to come to hand anything to me. I'm going to rent a venue. I'm going to get it filmed. I'm going to put it out there. So I'm super excited. And like, this is how I know I'm in alignment. I don't feel resistance towards writing my comedy. I do it. When I have a funny joke, I write it down. I keep adding to my one-woman show. I don't push it, but I am very intentional about my comedy. Like it's like writing good comedy, it boils down to the discipline of writing comedy, right? You got to write every day. And I've been writing every day and it's been great. And my manuscript for my book has been awesome. I just submitted that to my editor. It's just a lot. I'm sharing all this with you because I know I abruptly ended the podcast and I want to say I'm sorry because I was going through some stuff and I needed some space. I just needed some space and I didn't want to explain. And I did that last episode and I know you maybe didn't see it coming, but thank you for still being here, and listening. I want to give credit to the person who's really helped me in the past 3 months. I think everyone comes into our life for a reason and a season. Clients come into our life. Coaches come into our life. Mentors, partners, all this stuff. But I want to thank someone in the past, since October, that's really helped me. And that's I would call him my astrologer, my mentor, in a way, my business partner. And that is Ricky Williams, who is, if you follow football, if you're a football fan or you grew up in a football family, you know that he's a 2-time All-American. He's a Heisman Trophy winner. He's a former NFL player, played for the Dolphins, and he left the NFL. Because he really, he liked smoking cannabis. And then he chose that. And he realized that a lot of his football career was just something he was good at, but it wasn't necessarily what he wanted to do. It's just what he thought he should do because he was good at football. And I really resonate with that story. I really resonate with Ricky's story because I had a moment the other day, very recently, probably in the past 48 hours, where I realized I was so out of alignment. And I go, I think I've been in the wrong profession for 11 years. I've been here coaching other people to be confident, to speak their mind, to go after their dreams, to do their thing, when I really should have been doing that for myself this whole time. I don't regret any of it, but I finally realized I'm in the wrong profession. I'm in the wrong profession. Now, I'm still consulting, but it's just a different type of energy towards it, right? It's not like this. It's more like you hire me, I get in, I look at your communication, I look at your confidence, I look at your cash, I give you the plan. We talk about the plan, move, one and done, right? It's either a 1-hour session or a 3-hour. And so I'm giving myself, instead of filling up my calendar with tons of clients, I'm working a lot smarter with how I want to work with people, shorter periods of time. I'm able to look at what's not working. And I'm able to look at how do we fix this? And I had to do that with myself, like hardcore. I had to look at where I was still holding on to stories, where I was still holding on to identities, narratives. And I realized I thought that the way for me to feel the most useful in life was to always help others. And I do help others, but I want to help others in a different way. And the way that I want to do that is in a very creative way for me, which is getting on stage and making people laugh and becoming a better actor and delivering a performance that touches people. I want to hone in on that craft. I really do. It's something that's very new for me, but something that I've always been drawn to. Good acting, excellent comedy. People were just being themselves. I realized there's so many parts of me that I don't let anybody see. I'm goofy as hell. I'm so goofy. I have all these different voices that I don't let people, I have these parts to myself that I don't let people see, that I only get to witness when I'm by myself behind closed doors. I have these parts of me like really goofy. I have so many different characters living inside of me, and I've had to like only allow them out individually, one by one, like with whoever I'm safe with. So I have like different voices and different personalities, parts of me, and I'm realizing when it comes to acting, when it comes to comedy, I get to harness all that energy, and it feels really good. And I'm feeling, I was talking to my friend Allison Bird, and I said to her, I can be anyone I want to be. I go, that's the most liberating thing I've ever heard, and that's the scariest thing I've ever heard. I have the power to create exactly who I want to be. That's that God energy I'm talking about. I felt it so much yesterday, and I'm like, oh my God, Vasavi, you can literally create who you want to be. And I'm like, okay, who do we want to be? Who do we want to be? Who are we going to allow ourselves to be? And I've really released the judgment, a lot of the judgment. I don't allow myself to talk unkindly to myself anymore. I still push myself. I push myself, and I'm gentle, and I check in, and I treat myself with dignity. And it's like, you know, I usually I'm like, oh, you got to get all 4 podcast episodes in, push it in. And that's what I needed that. At the time, I needed that from myself. I don't regret anything. Every part of me that I was with myself or with my clients or whoever, I knew what I needed at the time. I don't regret any of it, right? I change my style according to what you're going through in that moment, you know, because you may not need hard Vasavi in this moment. You may need soft Vasavi. We can tap into different parts of ourselves. And I've been doing that with myself, and it feels really good. It feels really, really good. I've been feeling much more, I've been spending a lot of time by myself, but in a different way. I spend a lot of time with myself anyway, but I've been spending a lot of time like questioning and getting curious about like, what else is there? Like, what else is there? What's even better than that? And I owe that a lot to my mentor, Ricky, who always has me ask, how does it get any better than this? You know, and so I realized, you know, and really incorporating astrology into my life, because Ricky, that's how we originally met, is that he's an astrologer. And I got to say, as an Indian born and raised in a very traditional Indian household, Brahmin household, we're the highest caste, top caste, very pure, you know, I say that with quotes, very pure, you know, we're considered the top caste. I've had a lot of astrologers in my lifetime, all Indian, and Ricky was one of the best astrologers I've ever worked with. I felt like he really got me. He really got me. He understands the purity and the sanctity of the Indian culture as it applies to astrology, but he's also a Westerner, right? And so am I. I'm Indian, but I'm also a Westerner. So he was able to bridge both. I really love how much respect he has for the Indian culture. And so that really touched me. So we've been working together, and he's great. If you ever want an astrology session with him, you should go to rickywilliams.life or just Google him. I mean, he's everywhere. But I feel very blessed that I'm able to open up like this and not hesitate so much, because I do want all of you to know that you can change your mind and you can pivot. You can. And you know what? It's not easy. It's not easy. I'm not going to lie to you. This is the scariest thing I've ever had to do. One of the scariest things. Let me not get too dramatic. It's been scary letting go of the identity that I've created. Like, ooh, who am I if I'm no longer a coach? And I actually tried this on for a little bit. I was like, ooh, I'm a writer, I'm an actor and a comedian. Oh my God, I love the way that feels. I love the way that feels for me. It feels so good for me. You know, so I've just been trying on different ways of being. So this is what I'm playing with right now, and it feels really, really good. It feels really good. What I really want you to hear is this.
Let's take a quick break.
Having been in therapy since the age of 12, I know firsthand just how powerful the process of finding the right therapist is. Going to therapy and talking things out with my therapist has made me happier, clearer, and most importantly, I have a plan for my mental health. I have tools to be able to communicate with others and also the tools to cope when life gets hard, which it does. So let me ask you a question. Is something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals? Regardless if you have a clinical mental health issue like depression or anxiety, or if you're just a human who lives in this world who is going through a hard time, therapy can give you tools to approach your life in a very different way. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and more accessible. And this is an important mission because finding a therapist can be really hard, especially when you're limited to the options in your area. BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist easier because it's online, it's remote, and by filling out a few questions, BetterHelp can match you to a professional therapist in as little as a few days. It's easy to sign up and get matched with the therapist. There's a link in my description. It's betterhelp, HELP.com/Vasavi. That's betterhelp.com/Vasavi. Clicking that link helps support this podcast, but it also gets you 10% off your first month of BetterHelp, so you can connect with the therapist and see if it helps you. And because finding a therapist is a little like dating, if you don't really fit with that therapist, which is a common thing with therapy, you can easily switch to a new therapist at no additional cost without stressing out about insurance, who's in your network, or anything like that. I don't know where I would be without the help of therapy and my therapist, but I do know that life would feel that much harder. So if you're struggling, consider online therapy with BetterHelp. Click the link in the description or visit betterhelp.com/Vasavi. Thank you again, BetterHelp, for supporting this podcast. Spend time with yourself. Really get to know yourself. Really start to own what you want. Like, own it. You don't need anybody's permission. And I will say, I could not have done it without Ricky's help and a little bit of cannabis help too. I did not think that was going to be the trajectory of my life. And I have a feeling, I'm going to be honest, the cannabis thing it's seasonal for me. I can tell that it's like, for right now, I need this. And I don't mean that in an addict way, like, oh, I need this. It's like, it feels good. My body's calling it. It's like this, like, very heavy introspective energy, which feels really grounding. And I don't know if I need this forever. I don't need it forever. It's just a season, right? So really just allowing ourselves to have our seasons and not judging our seasons, because there's a season for everything, right? There is a season for everything in life. And the permission I'm giving myself is to just if something's a season, let it be a season, then let it go, right? Like, oh, I've been a coach for 11 years. I've been in the business of helping other people. This is what I've done to make a living. This is what I've done to feel on purpose. And now I'm in a place where I'm like, I can still be there for people and I can still help others. But what if I could do it in a way where I'm bringing so much joy and laughter and emotion in my own craft, by developing the craft that I want to develop, which is my acting and my comedy and my writing, that I help people in that way. Like, for me, the conflict that I had is this the only way that I know how to help people is in my business and coaching and all that? And I'm going to be honest, I'm not completely ready to let go of my business. I'm not, because I do still enjoy working with people. And I think that's a thing, giving ourselves permission to be honest with ourselves. Like, I'm not ready to let go fully of my business. I'm not ready to fully immerse myself into acting and comedy. I'm making both work in a way that feels joyful for me. I have select clients. I have select consulting clients that I take. That feels good. And you best believe in my calendar, I have stuff set aside for my acting outreach, my voiceover, my acting classes, my comedy writing. Like, I'm integrating both. But I've always put a lot of pressure on myself to be like, oh, I should have this figured out right now. You got to make a decision right now. And I'm like, nope, not going to treat myself that way. And I can see where people might think I'm harsh. And you're right, I am. And I've softened up with myself. I have. I know a lot of people are drawn to me because some people are drawn to me because they like that direct, harsh energy. And some people are like repelled. And what I realized was I was repelled from myself. Like, there's my very creative spirit, the part that writes comedy, the part that thinks her stuff is funny, the part that can get into a character and learning to get into a character, reading a monologue and and embodying this and being the characters. This is all new for me. And I'm noticing I have this critical voice inside my head that's like, who do you fucking think you are? You're about to be 40. What do you think you're doing? Transitioning from a business that has made you quite a good amount of money over the past 11 years. You're going to take voiceover projects. You're going to start submitting yourself to auditions. You're going to do this. You think your shit is funny? No one's going to laugh at your stuff. This is the voice that I have to deal with every day. And you know what? I'm happy that I have that voice, because now I can actually look at that voice as like, oh, you're the reason why I never actually pursued the things that I wanted to do. And I don't hate that voice. I look at that voice and I'm like, how do we work together? What is it that you're really afraid of? Oh, I'm afraid you're not going to be funny. I'm afraid that you're going to be ashamed. I'm afraid that people are going to make you feel bad. We got to protect ourselves. That's my critical voice. Doesn't want me to look stupid. It's okay. We're working together. We're working together. The voice in my head and I are working together. And it's good. It's the critical voice that I battle it, but this is how I know I'm on the right track. Man, I have that critical voice who's telling me, who do you think you are? I get up every day. I go to yoga 7:15. I'm done by 8. I get home by 8:15, 8:30, make a smoothie, and I sit down and I write comedy for 25 to 35 minutes straight. But I still do it every day. And that's how I know. I started crying the other day because I was like, I can't believe it wasn't even how good I am at comedy writing. It's not. I'm learning comedy writing. I wouldn't say I'm good at it right now. I think I'm good at I have great material, but I'm learning. I didn't even care about being good at comedy writing. I said to my friend Nita, I said, I'm scared at how I'm able to discipline myself to sit down and just do this. And I want to do it. Right? Like I want to do it. I want to sit down and write comedy. I want to do it. I've never felt more aligned. There's zero resistance for me. Once I sit down and write, I got to battle my critical voices. I'm not going to lie. I have those voices, but the act of sitting down and writing is easy for me. And that's how I know I'm on the right track, because I am stubborn as they come. And when I'm resistant, I'm like nothing. I am stubborn. I'm a Taurus. No one can get through to me. But the fact that I'm sitting down with no resistance to write is telling me like, okay, I have the resistance once I start writing. I have resistance once I actually sit down and start writing. Anyway, my point is this. I'm so excited to be back with this podcast. Your feedback matters to me. What you have to say about the content of this podcast matters. What I can always promise you, as I always have, this is the first like full episode where I've talked about the cannabis and the astrology and what I'm doing in my business. And I shared a little bit about it on my Instagram story like 2 weeks ago, but this is it. This is where Vasavi's at right now. She's acting. She's doing comedy. She's taking select clients to do her consulting on communication strategy, camera confidence, cash injection. So, confidence, communication, and cash. She has her Real Rich membership community, which is her way of still being with people who I still want to be connected to my members, and people who want to join who have that creative spirit and they want to know what to do with it, right? And I'm doing it. I'm leading the way. I always want to be an example for you. So that's what's happening on that front. And you can always join the community for $49 a month. We have no annual membership, so it's monthly. Try it. If you don't want it, cancel. That's it. Don't get billed the next month. It's simple. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'll be back. I think I'll be doing weekly episodes. I think that'll be good. I'm doing this as I go. This is the first time I don't have a clear outline. I do know this. That this podcast is, for me, a lot of what I'm going to be teaching inside my book. So I might read a chapter of my book one day here, because I do believe the stuff in the book that I have around learning how to talk out loud, your self-talk, your inner dialogue, all of that will help you really hone in on finding the truth of what you want and what you desire, and giving you the courage to pursue your dreams. So I'm going to actually probably read a few chapters of the book here for you. And then, what else? I want to talk about mainstream politics, news, and I want to share this. I never used to be the kind of person that want to talk about politics and celebrity news and media and sports and all that stuff. But I got to say, I've spent a lot of time inwards, and I feel really good about being at one with myself. And I want to use that oneness energy, and I want to apply it to what's going on in the world. I feel like there's a lot more divisiveness than there needs to be. I think we need to have extreme polarity to then come together. That I'm speaking from personal experience. It was only because of my own extreme polarity going so far outside of myself that it brought me back to some form of a middle, right? Balance in between, feeling safe in my skin, honoring all the parts of myself. So I want to apply that to how I view the world. That's it. And so, yeah, allowing myself to talk about what I wanted to talk about, say it out loud. And if you've listened this far and you're like, man, I want to be as honest as Vasavi. I want to talk about the shit that really matters to me. I want her help. I want to work on a customized communication strategy, whether it's for your podcast, your content, in your relationships, at work, whatever. If you have a business or if you work with someone, asking for what you want, all the things, taking care of yourself. You need to take care of your body to really be optimal at all things that you're doing, right? Like you can't be running on empty, all the things. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. That's today's episode. I'm really happy to be back. And we're just going with the folks. I want to say thank you for listening to the Being Human with Vasavi podcast. I'll catch you next time. Love you so much. Bye. If you love today's episode, then say it out loud. Subscribe, leave a review, and come say hi over on Instagram at My Name is Vasavi. Until next time, say it out loud.